All right, I know you viewers outside of the land of Israel are now learning Parshas Korach, but if you want to, you can look at the videos that we made last week, Parshas Korach. But here we're in Israel, we have to live with the times. Israel is more holy, what can we do, than the outside of Israel? And here we are more progressive. We already have finished the message of Korach, and now we are learning the message of Chukat. Chukat is talking about, it begins with the law of the Para Aduma, the red cow. The law of the red cow, female cow, para, because they always call it the red heifer. And this is a very, 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 very bizarre law that makes no sense whatsoever. It's not a custom. It's not even a ritual. It makes no sense religiously. Practically, for sure, it makes no sense. But nevertheless, it's called a chok. Really, if you look into it, according to Kabbalah and things like this, it makes a little bit of sense. But this law is called the law of Chukat. We didn't. That's a mimer that we're learning in. What is this law? First of all, the whole law, not only does the law make no sense, but the whole entire subject makes no sense. The topic that we're dealing with here is what's called Tahara v'Tumah, purity and impurity. According to Judaism, there's a thing which is called spiritual purity and spiritual impurity. It has absolutely nothing to do with what type of person you are, what type of personality you are. Oh. If you happen to be in a room, even if you don't know it, with a dead body, and there's a dead body in the room, you don't know it, or even if you're in the same building with the dead body, and there's one common roof over you, then you are defiled by a dead person, and you can never go into the Holy Temple for the rest of your life. Never. Holy Temple took tremendous effort to build, to maintain, holiest place in the world, and if you happen to be that you touched a dead person, or you were in a room with a dead Jew, or if you touched a person, you can never go into the Holy Temple for the rest of your life. Unless you have ashes that are specially prepared, ashes from a red cow. The cow has to be totally red without one black hair. It has to be that never did any work. And there are a lot of other details to this law. Yes?
It's like that version. We were studying in the daily study this morning, Ramban, about this. No, I'm sorry. It's in the Chumash. On the third and seventh day, you get sprinkled with the ashes. If you don't get sprinkled on the third and seventh day, you stay contaminated.
Right.
I'm curious, what happens if you stay? Do they restart the 3-7 days?
Yeah. Okay. Those are laws you have to look. Okay. And there's Mishnayos Para. The laws are more exactly enumerated by the Rambam.
But there is a way to get out of it.
Of course.
It made it sound like
in some cases, no. In some cases, you just have to start over again.
Okay.
Start over again. Who? Every once in a while, they come out with news that there is born a red heifer, was purely red, and then that sort of fades away. Now they find one the black hair or something. Somebody did work on it, huh?
Those who say don't know.
Right. Eventually it says that the Mashiach will make, should be working. The Mashiach, what? I don't know. Okay, the Mashiach will make he'll find the Paraduma. Up to now there's been 9, and the Mashiach, it says the Rambam, Mashiach will, in his time, he'll find, or he'll make, or they'll bring to him, then he'll make the Paraduma, the red cow, so that everybody could go to the holy temple and total purity. It'll take away all doubts if people are pure or they're impure. All right, this is what this law is called a Chukat Torah. I'll just give you a little introduction. There are 3 types of commandments. We've talked about this before. There are Mishpatim, those are logical commandments. Edut, those are commandments that are religious commandments. And then there's Chukim that make no sense at all. They're not logical, they're not religious, they don't indicate on something else, just make total no sense. Like not eating pork or not eating milk and meat together, not boiling milk and meat together, not wearing shatnez. These are meaningless commandments. The only reason they do it is because God commanded. And really, that shows on all the commandments. Really, all the commandments you should do, because that's a test us, right? You should do all of the commandments only because God commanded you. But in addition, the other commandments also have logic to it. So you're supposed to do the commandments because of the logic. You put on the tefillin on your arm to connect your head and your arm to your heart to God, right? You keep the Shabbat because the Shabbat, God rested on 7 days. But the paraduma, the red cow, there's no logic to it at all. You do it only because God commanded. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Let's take a break. Take the thing off for 1 second.